Hello YouTube, welcome to my new channel. Today we're going to be looking at the early access game Grand Tactician, the Civil War, 1861 to 1865. Now I have already started a campaign and I'm about, I believe, July of 1861, and you can start all the way back into February. There are other scenarios too, so there's spring, summer of 61, spring of 62, and summer of 63. They are currently working on a 64 scenario, but that will be yet to come. They are also still working on AI optimization and fixing other bugs and glitches. So obviously you may see some, you may not, depends on how this keeps going. But I already have, like I said, campaign started. One is just regular, the other I usually have a second before a battle starts. That way, if there is a bug or a breaking glitch or something, I can send the save files and logs over to their email, etc, etc. So let's get started, load in, and see where I left off. Alright, here we are. Yes, so my army, or excuse me, their army of the Potomac has just engaged my army, Department of the Ohio. And under the Ohio, I have McClellan leading, and for some reason I may just be loading in still, but their army is about right in this circle. About 33,000, and I think if I remember they had about 32,000, so it's going to be really even. Over here is the Army of Northeastern Virginia. This is the group that just defeated the Army of the Shenandoah, or possibly the Army of the Northwest, can't remember. But that was about 66,000 versus 40-something thousand, and we won a major victory. But their supplies are extremely low. High officer casualties. I had 2 wounded, and low food. So I'm going to have to send them back to Washington and hopefully get them re-geared and set. And of course the Department of Pennsylvania under Major General Robert Patterson. He was also engaged, and they also have low food, but I think where they're at now, they're next to Hagerstown and Frederick, Maryland. So that should be alright. But anywho, I already saved, so we're just going to start off right off the bat with a new battle. So you'll get to see kind of the interface, the graphics and everything in the battle scenario. So yeah, I've never really tried to have a gaming channel. I always thought that, I don't know, I never thought I'd be like interested in it. And there's plenty of gaming Let's Plays and stuff on YouTube, so... Oh, Confederacy feels 32,000. That's good, and we have 33,000. So this is going to be a close fight. We will see. I'm pretty sure they're attacking. Even though it says our army will vigorously attack. That's because I have the stance offense. That was on the campaign map. It would be like right here in these squares. But the enemy army is green, and the morale is reported to be eager. Reports indicate their supply situation is outstanding. The supply state of our army is also outstanding. So we'll close that. And let's see. Here we are in this far low corner. It's 4:10 in the morning. That's an interesting time to fight. So let's see. You click him. And then this circle kind of represents how far we can deploy our lines before we start the battle. Oh, did it just move? Oh, I'm sorry, that was the wrong circle. This circle. There's so many creeks and rivers and stuff that I didn't even see it. But this one up here is the one that we want. And I definitely do not want my troops in the river. This is so strange. What map is this anyway? Ah, the Newmarket map. Okay, I was wondering what it was. There's a series of like 10 or so maps that have been released and made. And so they're all historical battlefield maps like Gettysburg, Antietam, etc. So wherever you are in terms of the campaign map, it will load the closest actual battlefield to where you're fighting. So even though we're in, even though we're in Grafton, Virginia, we're fighting in Newmarket. And Newmarket's not that far away, so basically we just have to pretend that we're near Grafton. So as you can see here, these red arrows represent where they could spawn in and deploy their troops. And then you have actual objectives, and they each have a point. So like Borden here, Manners Hill 5 points, Shirley's Hill 5, and the town of Newmarket is 10. And I don't believe anyone has points taking objectives. Oh, the Confederates do. Right here at Sperryville Road, and it kind of gives them away because for some reason whenever the battle starts they deploy like defenses and stuff, which doesn't do anything for them because they move forward anyway. So my bet is that we're going to meet them at Newmarket. We will fight around the hills and streets of Newmarket. So let me deploy and I will come back when we're getting closer to the fight. We're coming back in. So as you can see here, they just took the objective of Newmarket. So that means, yep, they're starting to appear on the map. We're going to be confronting them soon. I doubt they're going to have the initiative to push forward. It seems like they're just going to sit for a bit. But here come our troops, our 1st Division. This is artillery and then the rest of the infantry. So, yep, just as I figured, I'm pretty sure they're going to try and just go for Manor Hill. Or they're just going to form their lines. It seems like they're just going to form a line right here. So, if it comes down to it, I'm just going to defend Shirley's Hill. But if they're just going to sit here and pretend they're defending... Oh, here comes their skirmishers, of course. The AI loves to deploy their skirmishers, like every single battle. It used to be worse. Not as bad as now, but beforehand, and there they go, skirmishers have opened up. Infantry too, but they should still be going. Are they going? Yeah, they're going. They also just came out with a new update and they changed the graphics a little bit. So this is cohesion's failing. Unit is cut off for some reason, and this is their first battle experience. But they are supported, so that's good. They'll get to their spot eventually. Who is this? 1st Division. Excellent. You guys are going to form up. It's kind of difficult sometimes to get perfect lines. Shirley's Hill is taken. Most respectfully, Alfred Pleasanton. Thank you, Pleasanton. Here comes the rest of our troops. Let me just make sure everyone is on long range. That seems to be the best way to fight until the enemy gets closer. Ooh, what's this? They are actually turning around. I have no idea where they're going. But it seems like 3 brigades here are moving forward. They may just be repositioning their line, actually. That's okay. We can handle it. The artillery... Honestly, I could probably put the artillery up here. Maybe. And have like a brigade or 2 defend. Depends on where they go. I don't want to expose my flank like that, though. So... let's see. It may just have to be the road right here. That's going to be the best spot for them, I believe. Who is this? Yes, you guys. Excellent. And then where's your commander? Right here. So you guys, they're starting to line up now. I'll send those skirmishers forward just to make sure to keep an eye and screen as much as possible while my infantry deploys. And 2 new brigades appear. Who is this? McLaw's brigade and Garland Jr.'s brigade. No match for us. No match at all. They're still waiting. There is delayed couriers on. So what that means, back in like the real Civil War, orders were given and sent by couriers. These little horse dudes right here, kind of dancing about. So it will take some time for the commander to send an order to 1st Division here, and then eventually they will move to these positions here. But as I was saying earlier, I'm new to like the gaming, well, not new to the gaming world, new to recording games and such. I've been a gamer since I was little, as most of us have been. And I thought, I've always loved history, and especially the Civil War and parts of European history, like medieval times, Napoleonics, of course, Napoleonics. And I thought, well, I've been twitching, not twitching physically, but streaming on Twitch. I just call it twitching. But I've been on Twitch for a friend because they're interested in seeing the game, and they said that my commentary is pretty interesting and entertaining, I suppose. And they said, why not, do some YouTube, record and put on YouTube. So I was like, you know what? Why not? They're still redeploying their lines. They have a small division of 3 brigades here and an artillery. Louisiana batteries. That's interesting. I really don't know what they're doing. They're just all over the place. Oh, my 1st artillery battery has opened fire, and they are just shelling into the town. So I hope there are no civilians in here. That would be bad. But I was going to say, if I was the Confederates right now, and again, the AI has a lot of optimization and improvement to go through, but if I was their commander, I would easily strike Manners Hill and just send them right down this flank and hit me on the left flank. That would absolutely end me. But the AI, their initiative in general is still like too low. Especially if they're defending. If they're defending, then they're just going to keep doing these little games of redeploying and making new lines and stuff. But I'll say the battle last night that I had that went on for 2 hours, they definitely gave a challenge for the first time ever. They're finally routing some of my infantry brigades. They were sending up infantry brigades instead of the stupid little skirmishers. They're actually trying to engage my own, and they're even going after my artillery and trying to take them out. So I was impressed by that, and luckily I managed to hold them back. And ooh, there goes a person's house. Not sure if any Confederates were injured. It doesn't seem like it, but that's what happens. Artillery in this game, they still have a lot to go through. Lots of stuff has to be optimized, early access and everything. But if you get your artillery in the right spot, they can unleash hell upon your enemy. So you know what? I am going to do what I was originally planning, and I'm going to put them right in front of Manners Hill. I'm not sure if the trees would block the artillery, and I may actually in due time send them up to Manners Hill here and line them up along this ridge here. Depends. They're already moving forward, so maybe not, but I'm definitely gonna put them on this ridge here and kind of protect the flank, because I feel like this flank's set. However, their batteries have finally opened up, and I don't think one man has been injured. Heckman's brigade. So there goes the skirmishers. They are starting to fire at these brigades coming in. That's actually really cool to see them march through the town like that. Yeah, the movement of the AI has definitely improved some. Not as many glitches or bugs, or just kind of probing and waiting. But we'll see how they do. You guys don't need to face the little creek here. I'll move you back. Here comes a brigade, Bradley's brigade. Their fatigue is okay. I'm not sure why. They've been on... Oh, it may have been the ford. Yeah, this ford is tiring. my troops. But I will move McClellan up here so he can observe the battle. I will try and not keep him hesitant as he historically was, and fearing that the Confederates are always outnumbering him. We know their numbers pretty well, so I think McClellan will be brave and use his initiative. And here comes 2 brigades here, and my flank is definitely not ready. Man, the order delays are really bad today. Well, that figures because he's in the middle of the woods. Oh boy. So I'm gonna have to set some skirmishers and delay their attack. I'm not ready for this. You are about to be swamped, so I'm gonna tell you to run away. Run away, as Monty Python would do. Wow, my flank is not ready. If they're gonna launch a full attack, I may not be prepared. I wonder if I can refuse this line. I don't want them being in the creek here, though. That would be tedious. So this brigade's actually engaged. Heckman lost 28 so far, so that's not good. Why do I hear charging? They're wavering somehow. I think they're just gonna launch a bloody attack. Oh god. Hold your ground, boys. Wait until you see the whites of their eyes, even though that's revolutionary and not the Civil War. But do it anyway. Oh, Jesus, they are... Yeah, it's this brigade here. Garland Juniors. And now they finally received... actually, I do not believe they received their orders. No, they are just turning their lines. I'm just going to have to do this individually. Move forward, Rogers. Schaefer. You can be behind the skirmishers here. They're just going to have to kind of make a double line, because here they come. Maybe I can get these 2 over to this side. It seems like they're not using this side that much. I'll keep them here just in case. Yeah, this division was completely slowed down by the ford. I didn't realize. And they are charging into Heckman's brigade and completely flanked. They have no idea that they were just hit. Oh, boys. And these guys are just like, oh, wow, look at that. But Garland Jr.'s brigade is wavering. They could not sustain the charge. Good job, Heckman. I'm going to have you refuse your line. Holy Christ, they've already lost 239. Goodness, how many did they lose, though? 52. Yeah, that's not good. Their skirmishers are wavering, of course, as they should. This flank is still not ready, and I was hoping that they would just listen to orders. I don't know why they're not doing anything. But yeah, their flank... Well, here comes the order for them to refuse their line. Artillery is going at it. They're just shelling the skirmishers. They do have a brigade in the rear. McLaw's brigade coming up. I feel so bad for these guys. They must be so tired. And especially, there's a guy having a good day swimming in the ford. That won't do any good for the fight. Here comes another brigade. What is happening? Turn and face and fire. If Heckman pulls through, I'm going to give him a medal for this. Ewell's brigade. Ah, classic Ewell. He had some initiative. But so far, these guys are just holding their ground. They will not give an inch. And here comes Breckenridge's Breckenridge's brigade, not the detachment. Brockenbros. Can't say his name. And archers. So these are the classic commanders of the Confederacy. Ooh, they're finally wavering. You're just gonna have to give ground. Either that, you're just gonna break on your own. There's not much I can do for you. Somehow they're able to fire through 2 brigades at these guys. I'm assuming it's the incline of the hill, and they're not causing casualties. Oh, that's why they're breaking, because they're extremely flanked. Turn. They are launching a full attack. I'm impressed. I have to say I'm impressed, because the past few battles, this game came out in August, and the AI was nothing like this originally. So the fact that we're actually engaging each other as infantrymen and not these stupid little skirmishers, I am quite happy. And they managed to flank, but I'm also flanking them, so it depends on who's going to win that. I was hoping I could still get an infantry brigade over here, but I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. Luckily, I have plenty of brigades back here to cover in case he fully routs. I'm surprised that Heckman is not wounded or killed, so I give him that. And I wish that he would retreat. McClellan, you've only lost about 700 men so far. That's not bad. And they are just duking it out. One thing I love in this game is the audio. The audio of the musketry and everything. Oh, it's like ASMR to me. Complete ASMR. I've been a reenactor for, oh goodness, 7 years, 8 years. I started in May of 2012 as in the 87th Pennsylvania, and then in oh, they're falling back in good order. In 2016, 2017 or so, I joined the 13th Virginia, and in the reenacting world, that's basically called cross-dressing. So, because I've been both sides, Union and Confederate, and right now I'm still staying as Confederate, unless, you know, COVID and everything changes that. But just from being a reenactor and seeing this fighting and stuff, it definitely brings back nostalgia and good memories. And I hope that once this virus is over, that we can all return to the field and have a great time. So it seems like they're pulling back. They cannot sustain the withering fire of my 3 brigades here. Bradley, Beebe, and Esty. Man, I gotta learn how to pronounce some names here. But yes, they're pulling back. They cannot sustain. And these guys managed to pull through in good order. They're nervous, and they have sustained heavy casualties. But boy, did they put up a fight. They got charged and flanked. And we have Hampton's Legion going to the extreme flank. Oh my god, did they finally just get their orders to move? Great. We need someone to go and engage that. He's closest to his commander. So do not use roads. If you forget to click that, then they would just go walking right through the enemy. So yeah, wow. I've never seen them flank like that. Not sure where they're going. I assume they're just going to try and get behind. But hopefully they will get there. I doubt, since they're so far away, that by the time they would come and try and surprise, that it wouldn't do too well. I don't know why he's so far away from his division. They're sending skirmishers again, just what we need. And I can't deploy mine because of the firing radius. They're too close. Yeah, so it's just going to be skirmishers against infantry brigades, which is quite silly. You know, 200 skirmishers against almost 3,000 infantry, like, that shouldn't even be a contest. That should just annihilate them, you know? But they have stopped. I'm not sure why. They could possibly be waiting for orders to come up the hill here. They're moving extremely close. Gonna tell them to reform the line. You can move up here. I'll press the initiative and have them move that way. These guys are being foolish and are just getting shot up. Please go reform the line. You have a whole Confederate army in front of you. Still says indecisive, and it's leaning towards the Confederates in victory, but so far we're both holding our ground. Not much has changed. They would just get rid of those stupid skirmishers and actually engage with their infantry. This one moved up, that's good. They're moving up. The Claws and Yule are starting to redeploy. They're probably going to try for another attack. These guys are moving up. So let's see if they'll notice. Who is this? Breckenridge. See if he notices. There is an infantry here. McClanahan's brigade. I'm surprised that they haven't moved up like Hampton's Legion here. They should, though. Yeah, but this is just duking it out. No buts about it. I wonder if I can move artillery up here. That actually would be really smart. So let's do that. It's going to take them a while because of the stupid woods here. Woods and rough terrain makes your fatigue go down tremendously if you're not careful. But luckily I got my divisions deployed just in time before this uphill battle. My last battle was also an uphill one for the Confederates, and they were more hesitant, but this time they are just really trying. And they're sending more on this flank. They must realize, they got the order moved. They must realize that my right flank is weak. And boy, it is. But I made a foolish decision because by the time they get here to attack Hampton, they're going to be extremely exhausted. So I'm going to have to send Heckman here. My poor boy Heckman is going to have to fight again. These skirmishers are running. That's fine. Get rid of them. Here comes the infantry brigades. I hope I have enough ammo to sustain. 54. That's fine. But my goodness, just look at the Fallen. The rows of Fallen stuff. They're just going at it. No other historical game, in my opinion, has come to this level. Where the sounds, the imagery of the sprites and stuff. Rome, like the Total War series, Rome, Napoleon and stuff. Yeah, they're great because they're more of an up close. They're not exactly to the grand tactical scale of this one. This is very similar to wargaming, like 6mm wargaming, especially Altar of Freedom, which I've been trying to get into, but painting those little figures has been really long and tedious. But of a historical strategy game to where it is the size of armies, besides War in the East, Hearts of Iron, no one has ever thought of it like this before, you know? These guys have finally moved forward. The range is long enough that they could strike, but I'm gonna just do it anyway. Oh, there's two brigades here. You're just gonna have to hold your ground. Sorry. Cancel your order. Oh goodness. The Calls Brigade just duking it out with like 3 brigades in front of them. Hampton's is just going for the flank. I have no idea. Maybe they're going after the artillery. I don't know. And surprisingly, they got through the woods fast, my artillery, so kudos to them. They may just be a diversion so the rest of the brigades can attack, you know? But if any of these 3 fall, I have 2 behind that are ready to commit, so that should be alright. But my goodness, the ferocity is just astounding to me. And we started about 5 a.m., 6 a.m. It's now 9 in the morning, and just within those few hours, so many have fallen. It's crazy to think on that scale. It's like a man, you know, kind of like when they say a man every second, especially at Antietam, when they were going through the cornfield and stuff. One cannon seems to have visual, the others do not. Maybe if I turn them. I'm worried. They're definitely trying to get behind my lines, which is impressive. But here comes McClanahan's brigade. They're ready to fight. What's wrong with these guys? First battle experience, so not sure how they're going to do. They're kind of at the edge of the woods here, and they have the slope advantage, so I'm not sure how that will play either. Jesus. Yeah, these 2 finally commit. They're going against 1 brigade here, which is not, but they're kind of facing them, so that's okay. Still, only 1 cannon is firing. Well, it's better than none, I guess. Jesus, they're going to try and get my artillery. And these poor boys are exhausted because of the heavy woods terrain. But it's just going to have to be them versus Hampton. I have to send Heckman up to the side here. Not facing that way, but that way. Yeah, let's march backwards towards them and show them our asses, you know? I don't even know what name I put for my YouTube channel. I'll have to think of something, unless if anyone sees this, by the time that I'm talking about this, if you suggest a name, that'd be awesome. But Jesus, poor Rogers here, almost 500 casualties, the call almost 700, these guys are getting beaten up. I may lose this one, actually, if I'm not careful. I have to do this. Fall back. Pull back. And send in someone else. We gotta refuse the line. They just went to defense line here. Whatever. These 2 are finally engaged, duking it out. Not sure who's winning. We may just a little bit, but not too much. And the Union casualties have covered the field, the top of the hill. These guys have faced their backs. Oh, thank God they turned around. But the Confederate pressure is too much for these poor boys. So Pleasanton's brigade is going to have to engage. And they're still, now all of them are firing. They barely lost any men. They're about the same. Archer about the same. So it's equal. Everyone is just duking it. Going at each other ferociously. Yeah, these poor saps are so tired. Why do you make us march so far behind us? There's no one there. But since I moved back my infantry, these guys have no line of sight now. So I'm gonna have to move them somewhere. I don't want to move them back though. They'll just turn around and shoot my artillery. Well, if these boys get close, then canister will be ready for them. Give them a warm welcome, you know? And we have won this firefight with McClanahan. He's pulling back. He could not sustain the new boys' fire. So that gives this guy here the opportunity to hit, who is this? Breckenridge on the flank. guys are actually not engaging, and they should be. I'm afraid to look at the casualties. 4,300 casualties, okay. I don't know the enemy. I'm not sure what his, actually, it can tell me here, maybe. It's an estimate. We're about even. I have more casualties than he does, though. He's just concentrated all of his forces in the center. So either he believes that my center is weak or my flank is weak. Probably my center, since I moved men back. But it is just a jumbled mess right now. So I will redeploy them. They're still confident. They still believe that they can give a fight. We gotta refuse the line. We will not give up this hill. Surely we won't. With this type of fighting, it's no wonder that when veterans and soldiers would write about the battles in their like journals and diaries, most of them would not go into detail. They would just say like, our brigade, our regiment suffered withering fire, ferocious fire, any other like heavy adjectives like that. They could like, it must have been indescribable to talk about these types of volleys and attacks like this in paper. Some would, though. Some would go into detail. Like, there is a story at Antietam. Which regiment was it? I can't remember the regiment. But they were saying they were laying down because they were being attacked by artillery. And one private had a premonition that he would die in the battle. And no more than, like, 2 minutes after he said that he was going to die, or like, you know, announced that his death was coming, an artillery shell struck the line. And after it went through about 6 or so men in a row, the guy writing about it said he looked over at his friend who made that announcement, and the top of his head was taken off, like clean off. And 2 more behind him, one was heavily wounded, the other one was ripped to shreds. So some men would write about the details of fighting like that. Others, most wouldn't. But anyhow, I was just saying, like, it's no wonder, because look at how ferocious this is. Look at how many men have fallen. Each sprite represents like 10 men or something like that. This is very similar to Scourge of War, where the sprites represent a certain number of men. But Scourge of War is regimental size, and Grand Tactician, as of right now, is only brigade size. But I think just brigades alone is fine. I feel like if these were all individual regiments, and to have regiments of 28,000 men, this would, the map would have to be larger, and it would just be forces everywhere. I think it would be too heavy to account for and to manage, you know? These guys are just sitting here. They've had, like, all day to go and fight. And at least wipe out my artillery. Ooh, someone was wounded. Colonel S has received severe wounds and has been carried to the ambulance by his men. Morale in the brigade is confident with unbearable casualties. Ugh. Anyone else? No. And I've only had 6 reports today. So that would be, I believe it's him. Yeah. He was wounded with 1,200 casualties. Oh my goodness, they have to pull back. And Mr. Russell, who's only lost 1 man, can engage. These guys are just sitting here like idiots. I'm going to pull them back though, because those 2 brigades to their left is coming back for more. They want more.